Protests were held across the country Saturday to mark Bank Transfer Day, a campaign to move accounts from big banks into community banks or credit unions. Credit unions attracted more than 40,000 new account holders, reporting about $80 million in new savings, or an average of about $2,000 per new account holder. The campaign was organized by Kristen when she learned that Bank of America planned to charge her a $5 monthly debit card fee. Kristen's Facebook post urging friends to abandon big banks unwittingly blossomed into a national campaign. More than 75,000 people pledged to participate in Bank Transfer Day. Although the campaign was neither inspired by nor organized by the cyber activist group Anonymous or the Occupy Wall Street movement, it did benefit from their support. In this ad, Anonymous explained how to participate in Bank Transfer Day.
If the 99% removes our funds from the major banking institutions, 2 nonprofit credit unions on or by the 5th of November, we will send a clear message to the 1% that conscious consumers won't support companies with unethical business practices. 1. Open an account with a credit union. 2. Transfer your funds to the new account on or before 11/05. 3. Follow your bank's procedures to close your account. 2. Find a credit union near you. Click here. For more information, visit the official Facebook page.
Well, after Bank Transfer Day, local news outlets around the country reported that fed-up customers acted on their promise to take their business away from big banks, sometimes in conjunction with the Occupy Wall Street protests. Philadelphia Inquirer told the story of a couple inspired by the protests who switched from Bank of America to a community bank. A news channel, KGW, out of Portland, Oregon, also interviewed fed-up customers who moved their money from big banks. The Denver Post said more than 1,000 protesters marched from bank to bank and urged customers there to close their accounts, while the Colorado Independent reported that local credit unions have acquired $100 million in new deposits within the past month. For more, we go to L.A., to Los Angeles, to Kristen, who organized Bank Transfer Day. And we're also joined here in New York by John Boniface, a constitutional attorney and co-founder and director of Free Speech for People. Kristen, John, welcome. Kristen, you started this on your Facebook page with a picture of Guy Fawkes. Why Guy Fawkes?
Well, I chose the imagery because it personally inspired me. It reminded me of a sense of rebellion, but definitely I've always been a pacifist myself. I've never been one to cause disruption. And the American flag reminded me of the freedoms that we are entitled to because of the brave men and women who fight for us, one of them being some 30 years ago, my grandfather.
Who was? Your grandfather was?
My grandfather was in the United States Air Force for approximately 25 years of his life.
So it was Guy Fawkes Day, Saturday, Bank Transfer Day, and you sent around tell us what you did to get Bank Transfer Day going.
I created a Facebook event and sent out invitations to 500 of my approximately 800 Facebook friends and urged them to explore their options with preferably local credit unions, but if one was not available in their area, then a local bank. From there, the event just snowballed with, at the end, before close of November 5th, we had 85,000 supporters. CUNA reported that 650,000 new credit union members joined before November 5th, the deadline goal of Bank Transfer Day, and another 40,000 on Bank Transfer Day, meaning nearly 700,000 consumers shifted funds from corporate for-profit banking institutions to local not-for-profit credit unions.
Kristen, explain what the relationship is between Bank Transfer Day and the Occupy Wall Street movement.
There actually is no relationship between Bank Transfer Day and the Occupy Wall Street movement, short of that Occupy Wall Street did adopt the directive of Bank Transfer Day to pull funds from banks. By most reports and most information I saw, unfortunately, the Occupy Wall Street movement didn't offer their supporters a step to take from there, meaning what to do with their money once they pulled it from the for-profit banking institution. So I definitely did appreciate the support of Occupy Wall Street and spreading the word. but I've never participated in any of the Occupy protests across the country, and nor have I organized any of
Kristen,
those protests.
would you say that this move, Bank Transfer Day and the Occupy movements, have also led to the defeat of Bank of America and other banks pulling back their charges on bank cards, the $5 fee, which happened right before Bank Transfer Day, the announcement in the last weeks?
Yes, I definitely think that a lot of consumer discontentment played a role in the withdrawal of that new policy. I think it further illustrates, though, how out of touch the executives of the large banks can be, that at least with Bank Transfer Day, which is the movement that CUNA directly credits for inspiring so many people to make the shift, it does illustrate that these banking institution executives are out of touch, because the message from Bank Transfer Day was not the fee itself, but actually the principle behind it. Because at least with Bank of America, the fee only applied to account holders with less than $20,000 in combined accounts. So based on principle, I couldn't support a business that would directly target the impoverished and working class.
John Boniface, you've been working on these issues for a long time. We just did a piece on Mississippi defeating fetal personhood as a constitutional amendment. You want to defeat corporate personhood. Explain.
Well, this whole idea of corporations being treated as people is antithetical to what the framers intended and what 200 years of our case law has intended. The Supreme Court said last year that corporations are people with free speech rights and can spend unlimited amounts of their money in our elections. And as a result, we now see effectively a corporate takeover of our democracy. But this doctrine of corporate rights goes back before Citizens United, and Citizens United is the most extreme extension of that idea. Corporations are not people. They're artificial entities. We charter them. We allow them to exist. And when they abuse their charter, that charter can be taken away. We, as people, live, breathe, have consciences, have dignity. That is an entirely different thing, and that's what the Constitution is for. That's what our democracy is for. That's why we need a 28th Amendment to make clear that corporations are not people with constitutional rights.
What would the 28th Amendment say?
It would make clear that we, the people, rule, that the Constitution is for natural persons, and that when it comes to regulating corporate entities of any kind, Congress and the states have the right to do that.
What did the framers intend, though, in granting corporations the same rights as persons?
Well, to be clear, the framers never granted that. James Madison spoke of corporations as a necessary evil subject to proper limitations and guards. Thomas Jefferson talked about hoping to crush in its birth the aristocracy of moneyed corporations. The framers never intended this. This is a fabricated doctrine of recent time that the Supreme Court has enunciated, really dating back to a memorandum in recent jurisprudence that Lewis Powell, then a private attorney writing for the Chamber of Commerce.
How recent?
In 1971. And he authored this memorandum articulating what corporate America could do to fight back against environmental laws, health care laws, civil rights laws, consumer rights laws. And then he became Justice Lewis Powell, became an architect of that doctrine. And for 30 years, we've seen this erosion of the First Amendment in our Constitution. And now I think people are ready to stand up and take our democracy back, take our Constitution back. I salute Kristen for what she's done to stand up to the big banks. All this is about ensuring that we the people rule, not we the corporations.
I saw a sign that said, I'll believe corporations are people when Texas executes one. I'm waiting to see the sign, I'll believe corporations are people when the state taxes one.
Right. Well, you know, alongside these is the basic point that we actually do have the right to revoke charters of corporations. We've launched a campaign with Appalachian Voices and Rainforest Action Network to revoke the charter of Massey Energy, a criminal enterprise, as Bobby Kennedy Jr. has referred to it.
In West Virginia.
In West Virginia, which has engaged
to revoke
in...
it very quickly, we have 15 seconds.
To revoke it because it has abused its charter, decade of federal and civil rights, federal and state violations of the law. And when a corporation abuses its charter in this way, so flagrantly violates the law, it no longer deserves the privilege of maintaining its charter.
We want to thank you, John Boniface, and Kristen Christian for joining us, and that does it for our broadcast. If you'd like a copy, go to our website at democracynow.org. A huge congratulations to our finance director, Isis Phillips. She and Jaume have welcomed a son, Esteban Guerra Phillips, into the world. He emerged last night, 11/13, weighing 6 pounds, 13 ounces. Esteban, welcome to the world. Bienvenido. Democracy Now! Is produced by Mike Burke, Renee Feltz, Aaron Mate, Nermeen Sheikh, Steve Martinez, Sam Alkoff, Hani Masood, Rabi, Karen Ryan, Deborah, Dina Guzder, Manal Khan. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh. Thanks for joining us.